Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. Test 1, 2, 3.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. new electronic ball today, though.
Good day, sir.
Yeah, this makes up for it.
Make sure you turn around, yeah?
Let's do it.
Let's go!
Good afternoon, wherever you're watching in Victoria, across the nation, or indeed around the world. And welcome to a cracking Saturday afternoon in Casey. And welcome to the playoffs. High octane, action-packed, never short of drama. There is no theatre quite like it. Both of these clubs, 2 games away from a seat at Victoria's top table and to test their credentials in the National Premier League. Events in the past fortnight sees Melbourne SRBIJA, who despite victory on the final day, initially missed out, now in the playoffs and with the chance to go from end of season heartache to hectic playoff heroics. The rare feat of back-to-back promotions is merely 2 frantic matches away for a side eager to make the most of this second chance. Melbourne City were also on the wrong end of a frantic final day. Defeat at Brunswick City saw them drop from the automatic promotion hopefuls into the pressure and the peril of the playoffs. That was one of 2 defeats in the run-in which saw their hold on automatic promotion evaporate, with Caroline Springs' George Cross on hand to accept the place and usurp City. Frustration for them must now be pushed to one side. The focus no longer on what was, but now on what must be, and the final push for the promised land. Inseparable when they met in the season. Today, that cannot be the case. There can only be one to go and face Brunswick City for a spot in the top flight. My name's Ethan Rigg, and I'm joined in the commentary box this afternoon by Josh Byrne. Good afternoon, Josh.
Thank you for that introduction. Yeah, we've got a enticing fixture here today. As you said, Melbourne SRBIJA coming in as the proverbial underdogs, as you would say, for their league form at the end of the season was quite remarkable, with picking up points in the last 9 games and putting them in this position, and the unfortunate of Western United, and hopefully that sorts itself out. Ethan, who's on the pitch today?
For the hosts, and Lockie Charles starts in the sticks. Ryan Calms, Marcus Humbert, Luca Demuth, Angus McIntosh, Beckham Baker, Roland Ballard, Isaiah Boston, Aaron Cartwright and Matthew Baker all start for Melbourne City. And for Melbourne SRBIJA, Jared Hill is in goal. Daniel Cincotta, Jacob Soveran, Cameron Davis, Tom Lakic, Stefan Ristic, Emidio Rossi, Jamie Wilson, Daniel Hudson, Takumu Ito and Bojan Trifonov all start for the side who finished outside the playoffs and find their way in with a chance to go all the way into the top division. Ristic with a scrappy start. Tried to work his way out of a tight corner. Bala came across to make the challenge. Glorious afternoon, it has to be said, for football in Casey. Long, first real test this afternoon for the City defence, one which they see off well. Bala in retreat. Happy to recycle it for Humbert. And Josh, considering that they were in the race for automatic promotion this season, not only do they come into the playoffs as favourites, do you think this City side have a point to prove?
Yeah, certainly, and with the starting lineup today, it's incredibly young. A lot of the scholarship players are training with the senior teams and not available, and a few players have stepped up as well, so they're young, and it's a big ask on a big stage. Can they do something for their club and prove their worth, prove that they should be at the academy?
Certainly an opportunity for some out there to make a name for themselves. Humbert. It's a lovely ball to find Bala. He's tried an early ball in. It's not cleared properly. Beckham Baker, the recipient, and he wins the game's first corner. Ito having a slide in, having not connected with his clearance cleanly. And the first set piece is Melbourne City's. Baker's take, fizzed in wonderfully, and it's nodded in. City take the lead. A brilliant header. Completely unmarked, all on his own. And nodded into great effect. And on playoff semi-final day, Melbourne City strike first.
Exactly what City wanted to do. Pressure on the board straight away, and it's relatively easy, floated in corner, and nobody went with their markers, and there was actually an opportunity for a couple of City heads to connect with that, but an opening moments in the game, and it's an uphill battle for Serbia at the moment. Their season pro heads have got to do something now and really switch on, as it's City winning the ball back again. Lovely darted through, skipped through.
Baker did terrifically. He gets it back, and City are on the charge for an early double. Chooses to go calm with Humbert. Wanting a real fast start to this playoff semi-final. Down the outside for Matthew Baker. Bala with a tidy touch. Mopped up by Lakic. Down the line for Ristic. Was unable to get away from Humbert, and then dived in on Matthew Baker. Luka Demuth in recovery, only gave it away. Ristic. Bala with a good challenge on Wilson. He just wasn't able to wriggle out of a tight space. Melbourne Serbia needing to settle into this semi-final, and quickly. Already a goal down, and with the game to chase. And he tries to shift it round the outside. Boston with a good challenge, and he's now able to bring it forward. Demuth, who wriggled away wonderfully, and he's got room to roam. Beckham dropped in. Wasn't able to get a clean touch on it. Was one back by Hudson, launched long towards him once more. Matthew Baker with the flick. Humbert able to calm it down. This game has started at a rather frantic pace. Both teams really wanting to stake their claim. Palms with a good ball. Cartwright Back for Boston. Ryan Calms, the goal scorer, moves it on for Humbert. Baker gives it back to him. Lofted towards Balla in the channel. Again, Baker had to compete once more with Hudson. He lost that particular challenge. But Baker in retreat wins a free kick.
Yeah, different comments from the benches as well. Melbourne Serbia happy to sit down and relax and take their time. Diamante, ever present in Victorian football at the moment, is up and animated in his screaming instructions. As you might hear on the effects mic, it's Diamante's comments constantly barking out. These academy teams do like to hold on to the ball. That is their bread and butter. They do it so well, but on a ground like this, if you can't hold on to the ball, there's an issue. You know, tuck forward.
Boston on the charge, stood it up again. Serbia are unable to clear their lines, and City will have another corner. Another opportunity to load the box. First goal came from a corner. Perhaps another chance to put Melbourne Serbia in some strife. This time whip low. Took a touch, wasn't quite cleared properly. In the end, Wilson was able to get a more telling touch to clear his lines, but it'll be coming straight back. Charles moved it on to McIntosh. It's a dazzling darting run. Still waiting on the runners. Beckham was one. Went round the other side for Matthew Baker, who stood it up to the back post. Balla got a good hit, and on the following, McIntosh caught it sweetly, but wasn't able to turn it goalwards.
Melbourne Serbia caught twice there. Absolute statues in defence. Still not a comment from the coaching bench. Senior players should be knowing what to do, but maybe a wake-up call again for them. The goal in the first 2 minutes wasn't a wake-up call. It's a chance after chance. You can't give this Melbourne City a sniff at goal. The young kids are hungry for goal. The likes of Boston and Baker and Matthew Baker. All systems are go in the attack. As they drive forward now. Baker looking to cuts back. Tucks inside. Lovely 1-2, and it's broken up eventually. And Serbia can pull away. Can they do anything with a attack? As he goes flying, somebody's gone flying. As the coaching staff like to sit on the edge of the pitch and cop the full brunt of galloping Daniel Hudson. To be okay, he did get up a little bit gingerly. So promising, it's determination to keep the play going.
Oh, it was hot for Matthew Baker, who was put under pressure immediately. It's Marinucci. Found the game's opening goal with a towering header. It's a lovely ball into Calms, who turned it round the corner. City will have a free kick. Lovely turn from McIntosh into space. It's yet another set piece for a Melbourne City side who inside the first 10 minutes have been in the mood. Once again, Marinucci at the back post. Calms with him. Baker's free kick is a beauty, and Marinucci got the final touch. With a hand of a Serbia defender as well, and City will have a corner. Once again was able to get round the back completely unmarked. The first contact, and the block came across. Baker's corner with depth is a beauty, flicked again. They are queuing up at the back post from those set pieces. Another opportunity for Melbourne City to add a second. And Ryan Carms wasn't far away.
It's showing that it's a genuine weapon for them. It's not often with academy teams that it's a weapon, but today clearly identified something in their team talks. They're going to attack these corners and set pieces. But it has been played at a frantic pace, as you mentioned, Ethan, and it's stated that the first free kick was in the 9th minute of the game, so it says a lot. That's a pressured clearance. With only a couple of corners, it's had plenty of ball time and ball in play time, and that's what we want. Tip forward.
Lovely ball from Carms into Ballaroo, flung it across. And in retreat, Soveran had to get a touch on it. It was a terrific ball from Roland Balla. Awkward to deal with, it was fizzed across the face. It's another City corner. Soveran was alert to the danger. Wasn't taking any risks in his clearance. Balla goes short this time. Beckham Baker took a stumble and delivered with depth once more. Carms nodded it on. It was intended for Boston. Demuth tried to make it work. Rossi again unable to wriggle away. That's a lovely turn from Cartwright. Tried to steer it back towards the penalty spot. Lakic got in the way. Cleared only as far as Boston. Humpert on for Matthew Baker, who was once more looking to charge his way forward.
No way, Daddy. No way. Corner, 100%.
You can hear what Alessandro Diamanti thinks of that.
50-50.
As Terry, the fourth official, is getting the earful from him. It won't be the last time. But it's bringing it back to that last couple of set pieces and corners. It says a lot. Melbourne Serbia have already put all 11 men behind the ball in that situation. Not a single man forward. It says a lot for the pressure that they're under at the moment. They just need to relieve the pressure valve somewhere. And Hudson, can he do it? Twisting and turning, he loses out. City again can drive forward.
Boston tried to clip it for Carms in the channel. Quickly mopped up by Hill. Melbourne Serbia still trying to find their rhythm in the playoffs, of course. It's been a frantic fortnight for them. All the news that's gone on in football in Victoria and in Australia in the last 2 weeks. It's a side who thought their season was a foregone conclusion now find themselves a quarter of an hour into a playoff semi-final, a goal down, and in search of momentum. Ito gave it away to Balla, who cleared his lines. Ito was quick to mop it up. It was all the way home for Hill. Tried to clip it into the channel. Humbert had to read that well, and he did terrifically. Chincotta tried to steer it over the top. Once again, they're trying to utilise that right channel, in particular Hudson. What a fraction too heavy for him. Marinucci. That's a lovely ball for Boston, who's managed to keep it in. And has now got a way to charge. Tried to roll it down the line for Cartwright. Soveran came across to cut it out. Once again, Melbourne City evading the Melbourne Serbia press. Boston tried to clip into the channel. Sovereign cleared it all the way back for Marinucci. Humbert. City's two centre halves. Happy to keep it between one another to shift this Melbourne Serbia shape around. Boston. Marinucci. Humbert once more. Out the other way to Matthew Baker. He's got room, he had Bala with him. Defended well, Humbert eventually finds it to Bala. He's one-on-one with Chincotta. Bala skipped his way beyond him. And then Hudson came across to make the challenge.
The patient build-up, that's fabulous from City. Switching side to side, just tossed in and easily turned over, but City again get it back and able to recycle. It's a hefty challenge. Hudson comes away with it, plays it forward, well cut out. Saving grace from the skipper there. Serbia had men steaming forward. The skipper stepped up there, that was fabulous defending.
Humbert had to make that intervention. Otherwise Wilson would have been on his way and through one-on-one. Instead City are able to work it with Marinucci. Then they go down that right-hand side. Been popular for them so far. Cartwright cycles it back to the goal scorer. Timoth gave it, got it back from Humbert. Melbourne City happy to slow it down. Try and really dictate the tempo. Marinucci on for Cartwright. Wants to go himself for a drive down the line. Sovereign cut it out at the expense of a corner. And it is yet another set piece for Melbourne City early on. Searching for a second inside 20 minutes. It would be a dream start to this semi-final for them. Ballast take to the near post. Ito did well to clear his lines. Thumping clearance. May well be coming right back. Lucky Charles. Slowing the game right down. Marinucci. Boston. Much more patient approach. Humbert. For Charles. Signed a professional contract with Melbourne City in October of last year. Searching ball. Hill used absolutely all of his area. Just flirting with the line momentarily. Again looks long. Wanted to find Wilson in behind. This ball was too long for anybody.
Still, Serbia yet to have a touch in the opposition penalty area. That's showing the dominance of possession from Melbourne City. They play it short, as a lot of academy teams do. Inviting the pressure on. Serbia gets to turn it over. It's touched up. Foul was there, and he has a hit. And it just sails over. Serbia bench is asking the question of the foul. I don't think there was much in that. It was just body on body. But that's the pressure that the City team do invite on themselves. They can put that pressure on themselves with playing short, and they got caught, and Serbia is going to have to punish them if they get a chance like that again.
First time Melbourne Serbia have gone on the high press. And as a result, Jamie Wilson looking a touch worse for wear. It's a lovely ball round the corner for Lakic. Called it sweet, it just didn't quite have the dip on it to trouble Lockie Charles. But perhaps the first sign that Melbourne Serbia are hitting their stride in this semi-final. Ballas flick on. That's a brilliant challenge from Ito. It calms his pocket. Hill looks long again, and it'll break for Wilson. Trying to spin his way all the way around Humbert, who just closed the door on him and let it go out for a goal kick. He had options arriving as well. Hudson was one just dropping in to provide him with some support. Also wanted to spin him behind. Matthew Baker. Tidy ball into Demuth, who's got room to turn. Was immediately swarmed by three and is going on a charging run. Was hacked down by Ristic. City will have a free kick. Brilliant darting run from Demuth once again. He's really looking to drive this Melbourne City team forward. Did well to win a free kick. Humbert got away from Ristic, fizzed it in to Beckham Baker. Now Matthew Baker. Humbert. Baker. And the City trying to turn the screw to unlock this Serbia defence once more. Marinucci. Round the other side for Cartwright. It into the channel for McIntosh. Again, not able to find St. Joy down the wings that they were in the early stages. Marinucci. McIntosh was hustled and lost out in the end. Wilson gave it back. Davis. All the way home for Hill. Ito. Serbia just starting to win. A couple of little battles. Chinkota. Not exactly where Ito wanted it. Tried to hook it away for Ristic. Humbert won it up. Ristic nodded it on. Only as far as Cartwright. It's back for Boston. Marinucci. Humbert. Tried to go on a spearing switch. It's cut out by Soveran. And trying to go forward. Rossi couldn't find a way beyond Boston.
Yes, Melbourne Serbia starting to put their foot on the ball a bit more now. Getting the possession stats back a little bit more in their favour. They need to get the likes of Wilson up high. The wily veteran needs to get more of the ball. And he's having to come and drop really deep to receive it. And it's just not working. And it's dropping in and defensive blocks. Obviously they don't want to concede a second, but they need to put some pressure going forward. One shot is not what they would have been hoping for. 25 minutes in, 23 minutes in. It's very lackluster from them. And a lot of potential tired bodies and tired minds. As you mentioned before, even they got the late call up. Some of them on all reports, a couple of them were actually physically on holiday and had to come back to play. So it's a big ask. Mentally switched off, and they switch themselves back on as quick as possible. It's very lackluster from them so far.
Marinucci on for Boston. Melbourne City certainly controlling the first 25 minutes in Casey. Humbert, Matthew Baker. Again down the line for Balla, who took a smashing turn. But Chinkota, with a hand from Ito, closed the door on him. Just a quick shift of footwork from Roland Balla, and he was away. Baker, Humbert, Beckham Baker. Sliding challenge was a good one. Wilson had no room to roam. Alessandro Diamanti certainly animated on the touchline in particular. Didn't exactly agree with that decision. Melbourne Serbia still trying to really find their footing in this game. That's a lovely ball from Hall. Wilson's touch was deft. Hudson, who's got Baker to go at, stood it up to the back post brilliantly. It was flicked back across, wristed, and Wilson has flicked it in. Melbourne Serbia's first venture forward is one of fruitful fantasy. Jamie Wilson's flick was delightful, and it's 1-1.
That's the experience, that's the pressure of older bodies. Allowed the cross, Baker just wasn't close enough to his man, allowed the cross. Back post kept it alive, and that is attacking instinct, just to flick it, just to get something on it, to flick and backheel it into an open net in the end, just to keep that ball alive. Serbia did well, and as you mentioned earlier, they couldn't be separated during the season. It's all square here. For all their dominance, City fell asleep for 30 seconds and it's back level.
Hudson's ball was whipped wonderfully for Rossi. He's cut back, found Ristic, and Wilson with the most inventive of finishes has Melbourne Serbia level. Worth noting, when these two last met, 28th of June, it ended 1-1. Of course, it can't do so today. And all of a sudden, we've seen Serbia go from strength to strength, and Wilson's in behind once again. Marinucci's come across to hold him up. Cut it back for Rossi. Couldn't get away from Boston. Marinucci. And for Cartwright, who's charging forward. Tried to switch it for Ballot. It's cut out well by Cincotta. Hudson flicked it over one, over two, and then Marinucci came across to clear his lines. All of a sudden, Josh, the dynamic has completely shifted.
Yeah, a bit of commentator's curse, or they heard me or something. As soon as I said they're looking a bit lackluster, something just to give them a kick, and that's all it needed. Wilson can get onto the ball more. Hudson get involved in the game more. Wilson is there as well, and he draws a free kick. Just a little discipline from the youngster. That's what they needed. They needed their key men up forward to just get onto the ball and hold on to the ball. And Hudson provided. The wily veteran of Wilson, you played in Scottish divisions, you must be able to score goals. He's whipped into the back post, met with Serbia's head, straight into keeper's hands, and he's happy to roll and keep the play going as quick as possible. He'll try and keep the tempo going again now.
Humbert. For Marinucci once more. All of a sudden, Melbourne Serbia have had a couple of opportunities. Have the momentum. Melbourne City's first real test, and this is why you love the playoffs. You just never know what it could throw up. A team who were looking at automatic promotion for most of the season, now being tested. Lovely touch over the top for Cartwright. He was surrounded by red. Went back for Boston. Humbert. Matthew Baker. Wanted to thread it in for Beckham Baker. Combs came across and tried to make it work. Forced Cincotta into a clearance, one which he never looked comfortable making. Baker's throw. Combs wanted the return. It's too heavy. Baker just advanced off the touchline. And as a result, Combs' returning header only found touch. Chincotta wanted Wilson. Humbert flicked it on. Marinucci kept it in. Did well to keep it alive and recycle it to Charles. Despite the Melbourne Serbia protests. Again, Melbourne City happy to bring things almost to a complete stop. Slow it down and regain their shape. Before looking to launch forward once more. Marinucci clipped it into the channel, and it might work out for them. Wriggling forward, Combs going to get it. Beckham Baker will. What a save off the bar. And turned in by Combs on the rebound. A miraculous Hill save, not enough, as Melbourne City storm back ahead. Beckham Baker bewilders, Combs kept his calm, and City go back in front.
Hill must feel hard done by their absolutely outstanding save. But he, to no avail. Beckham Baker thought he'd scored all ends up there. But the pressure, and Melbourne Serbia again, statues in their own penalty box. No one following up, no one moved second time. Hill couldn't do anything being on the ground after his fantastic save. And a moment of brilliance yet again. Fortunate bounce to open up the opportunity. But nonetheless, it's still a good opportunity. And again, they've gone forward and pressed them straight away. And they've won the ball back, and the pressure's on from the get-go. So drive forward here.
Lakic lost out to Bala, who was bundled over. Ito with a lovely turn and a great ball. Wilson was round the outside, but Boston was always best placed in retreat. That is, however, a reminder of just how quickly things can change. And on that goal, credit has to be given to Combs for not only finishing it, despite missing the initial ball at the near post, kept his composure and reset. Humbert with a searching ball. Combs' flick on. Couldn't find Beckham nor Bala. Lakic. For Ito. Happy to return for Hill. Really frantic first 33 minutes. Hill look long. Ristic and Hudson both went for the same ball, perhaps not on the same wavelength, and weren't able to work it for Wilson. Once again, Melbourne City goes short. Humbert. And for Matthew Baker, Melbourne Serbia's high press. Doesn't quite work out this time. Baker bundled over. Too overzealously by Hudson, who gives away a free kick.
Serbia's really switched it on a bit more now after they've conceded. A lot more voices out there. They've really targeted this near side, particularly with Hudson. Try and put Matthew Baker under a bit of pressure. He's one of the youngest out there. So he's been tested with Hudson as senior veteran of Victorian football. It's easily dealt with. Ricochets around. Baker can come forward.
Lovely ball into the channel. Combs has gone around Hill, stabbed it back, and it's cleared. Right at the last minute, as City were looking to add a third. Humbert forced all the way back. Terrific ball from Baker into the channel for Calms, who cut it back. And Trifonov stayed with it all the way and was able to clear it. City again just trying to work an angle. McIntosh, Cartwright. Tried again for McIntosh. Trifonov did well initially and then conceded a corner. Yet another corner for Melbourne City in this first half, who haven't been short of a set piece. And here's Baker's take with loft. Boston went acrobatic, and Humbert gave it some heft, but it was over the bar.
It's their sixth corner of the game already, and it shows their dominance in possession, and wave after wave of attack from City. Put that constant pressure on, and the first one of the game they scored from, and they've come close on a couple of others. Serbia need to quell their opportunities for these corners and stop putting themselves under these pressure. He's just scooped it aloft. Wilson uses his body, no avail, and that's poor touch in the end to turn over the ball. 5 minutes that they had, ball down on the deck, playing. Do something, and that one might join us in the commentary box. It's rinse and repeat. Nice toss. Good body on body. Jock allows that one to play. Baker. Twisting, turning. Beats one, couldn't beat the second. Trying to win it back himself. Gets dragged down. Jock, yeah, eventually. Gives it, and it was there as he gets dragged down. There's a little bit of push and shove here. We allow them to have their moment. Baker's a prize commodity here. The team will protect him.
Baker was bundled over by Lakic, whose initial lunge was a good one. However, he then proceeded to lay down on the Melbourne City starlet, something that Roland Balla wasn't best pleased about. Both him and Hudson just getting a word of warning. In the meantime, Melbourne City have a free kick. Humbert and Baker over it. Final 5 minutes of the first half. Beckham, Baker with fizz, and it's nearly gone all the way in. Cleared off the line by Davis in dramatic fashion. Baker ever so nearly whipped it all the way through to the back stick and in. Would have been some effort, but Davis was in the way to deny him, and he had to be. City inches away from a third. Baker once again on for Balla, who's one-on-one with Cincotta. He's held up well, waited for the support to arrive. Daniel Cincotta did superbly.
Fabulous scoop off the line there. It's kept the team in it. Ensure that they can go into this half-time with slender chase. Instead of a big ask in the second. Got 5 minutes to muster something up to try and change that team talk at half time. Slip possession, and Serbia can drive forward. Well defended, fabulous tackle. Not agreed by some fans. Apologise for any bad language caught on the effects mic.
Baker lost out to Hudson. Lakic with Loft. Wanted Wilson but wasn't able to find him. Luka Dimuth, who's provided a lot of drive in this first half. Boston. Marinucci. And City happy to slow it down once more. Still trying to draw Melbourne Serbia out of their shape, and in fact, there's a second ball on the pitch. One which Wilson was more than willing to whack away. We'll start things with a drop ball. Certainly a first half of some of the most bizarre circumstances. Marinucci again targeted the channel. Davis drove it away. Wilson wanted to make it work. Ristic kept it running. And Melbourne Serbia have a free kick. Marinucci tried to clamber his way over Wilson. Final few minutes of the first half. Perhaps for Melbourne Serbia, a look at a second. Wilson and Soveran, the two interested. It is Wilson's free kick. Quite an easy one for Lockie Charles to claim in the end. Wilson's effort just lacking the height and guile that he would have liked. Boston now is able to bring it away. Skipped his way beyond Wilson. And back for Humbert. Charles. Marinucci. Was given space to drive into. Again, tried to clip it for Calms. Ristic did well. Dimuth picked it up. Drove it for Balla, who again is one-on-one with Chinkota. Stood it up to the back stick where two were waiting. Neither Calms nor Cartwright could make contact with him. McIntosh kept it alive. Boston. Once again, we can make it all the way back for Marinucci. Charles. Humbert. Given room to drive into once more. Again for Roland Balla. This time on for Baker. Couldn't get around Chinkota.
Wilson chased that entire switcher play all on his own, and he's hands on hips and knees, now absolutely spent. It was a sole press that was never going to work, and someone on his team just needed to say something just to say either yes, go with you, or stop, and no one did anything. And it's not going to help him if the game goes deep. That's a lovely switcher play out onto that far side. Up against two. Gets past Boston. Shielded out eventually. A real nick of the ankles. With more frustration than anything else. Dying moments. So board will come up in a moment. Lucky! Jock has dealt with the game quite well so far. Man in the middle. And two added minutes come up on the board. Serbia will want to just see out these two. Regroup in the second half. Lost that in the sun. Wilson. ground is notorious for a sunny day, which it is beautiful today, and that's a heavy one. Doesn't like that one. Clip the ankles, and again, just a little bit more heat in this game in the last few moments. And rightly so. There's a yellow ticket for that one. Never going to be anything else other than that. Definite clip of the ankle. What a vicious one in the end.
Aaron Cartwright in the book. That lunge, Cameron Davis. He certainly was displeased about that. It's been a first half. It's not lacked fire. It's been a rather fierce and feisty affair. You would not expect anything less with a spot in the top flight on the line. Boston, hustled by Wilson. Cleared it only as far as Davis, whose drive met Humbert's head. Calms, touched it on for Beckham, and he's got room to roam. Did Beckham Baker, and Balla's got away from Chincotta. All of a sudden, City have broken through. Balla flicked it across, that's a brilliant finish. Calms crashing in at the near post. He's at the double, and City on the stroke of half-time have their third.
Don't know which one's better, the fleet-footed of Balla or the fabulous finishing course there. Brilliant from both of them. I'm not sure what Diamante's 208 about on the bench here, but it was a fabulous through ball, fabulous run. The ball across was perfect, and the finish was just as good to make it 3-1. And that's exactly what we were saying Serbia didn't want to do. They switched off and allowed City one last attack, and it looks like it probably will be the last attack. As the ball gets thrown forward and hopeful from Melbourne Serbia as we go into the half.
Final moments of the first half was a piece of Roland Balla brilliance. Tidy, ever so tidy bit of footwork to turn away. Flashed it across the face where Calms was on hand to meet it. And Melbourne City, to their credit, have a 2-goal buffer, which you'd say they may well deserve. Marinucci got it going. Melbourne Serbia then got themselves level before Calms has a brace and half-time in the playoff semi-final.
Let's go!
We return from half-time in KC. Melbourne City, 45 minutes away from a playoff final. Melbourne Serbia with 45 minutes to save their season. They've shown glimpses when they've had the opportunity to go forward, but so far it's been City's afternoon. However, Wilson is looking to make an early impact. And Lockie Charles did well not to concede a corner within seconds of the second half starting. Flung it out for Roland Balla, who's got Beckham Baker down the line, and City are on the charge the other way. Baker's got Calms one way, he's got Cartwright arriving. Just stumbled over his feet and it allowed Chincotta to come back in retreat and then bundle him over.
Little push there on the afters. Not too happy with the contact. If you happen to see the stats pop up, Melbourne City with 7 shots in total, 3 of them on target, and all 3 have been a goal. So most people will take that those stats, especially as we got alluded to at the half-time break that the big number 3 has played 20 games this season, all as centre-back, and he's got 2 to his name. That's not a good return. He's doubled his goal-scoring tally for the season in 1 go. He'll be certainly probably playing a few more occasions, and he's caught there, and that's going to be a card. Thank you very much. Just late on that one.
McIntosh caught Lakic high. And rather late as well. Just to go on Ryan Calms. He did play up front in his very early days as a footballer. Perhaps hasn't lost some of that goal scoring prowess. Certainly not this afternoon. Lakic's free kick is a lovely ball. Soveran in for Davis. His flick on wanted, Ristic. City shout for handball, and they will get a free kick. Just as Boston went to clear his lines. Trifonov came across, struck his arm. They want to go in a hurry. Out for Balla, that's a brilliant ball. He took a stumble. Chincotta then won it. Thumping clearance from Marcus Humbert, who was certainly taking no risks. Ito. Davis. Soveran lost out to Cartwright and then tried to reel him in. Cartwright wriggled away, had 3 around him. Davis eventually in to make the challenge. Recycled it well for Trifonov. He went all the way back for Jared Hill. He's drived it for Davis. Marinucci got up ahead of him. And Davis nodded it on and nodded it out of play. Humbert. And for Matthew Baker. Wasn't able to get away from Hudson, but was able to keep it for Melbourne City. But we're looking to continue the second half in the same vein that they finished the first.
And I'm wondering what the reception was for Melbourne Serbia from their coaches. As we spoke about, my money's on a hairdryer. It's the old school. They were out early from half-time. Wilson streaming forward. Has to force the big turn back. Managed to keep and recycle the ball, which they rarely did. It's a heavy touch. Wiggles through a couple, back out to Wilson.
Trifonov tiptoed terrifically. Wilson went back for Soveran. Got it from Lakic. Wilson. Trifonov tried the 1-2. Boston read that situation well. And then got away from Wilson. Cartwright, Boston looking on the charge. Wilson's dive in. Gives away a free kick. Marinucci in a hurry. Humbert. Brilliant take from Beckham Baker and a good challenge from Lakic. Hudson then lost out on the spin. Matthew Baker driving forward. Gave it on for Bala. Ito took a stumble. Davis kept his feet. And Cooley found Lakic. It was again gone with Loft for Wilson, who's made it work. In ahead of Humbert. Ristic. Now loses out to Humbert, who can go on a charge himself. Has options up with him. Down the line for Roland Barra. Combs was coming across. Tried to spear it towards the back post. Too long for Cartwright, who's done well to keep that alive. Boston. Marinucci. And for Marcus Humbert. Into Calms. Touched it back well. McIntosh tried to steer it round the corner once more. Soverant smashed it away. Marinucci nodded it on for Cartwright, who's got room to go. McIntosh darted for him. Cartwright with a delightful clip. Calms rolled it back. McIntosh. Calms would have been offside had he went to play it.
Fabulous interplay there from Cartwright. And just their ability to recycle and wave of attack. And it's frustrating. A couple of plays there where it's starting to frustrate Melbourne Serbia, and they've got to make sure they keep their heads. Still got time to get back into the game. And getting closer to a potential man down is not what they want to do. They've got to make sure they keep their heads. And they have gone forward. It has worked. It has been productive. It has created opportunities. Wilson trying to get up for that one. Wilson may have got the last touch, but he's won the throw in instead. He can recycle through Charles and his keeper. Press from Wilson again, all on his own. Did it a couple of times in the first half to no avail. Waller happy to go back, make them run. They're looking tired. Melbourne Serbia. City will happily force the run. They've got the numbers on the bench. Speed and youth on the bench. The coaching direction says keep the ball. Fizzed forward. Well cut out. The ricochet. Boston knocked out of that one. Wilson would have been offside. Diamante helping his opponent out there, telling him he was offside. Didn't know if that was correct, but he helped him out either way.
Lucky Charles stepped away, risky. Wilson on the slide, has an open net. That is a beauty. What a goal that is. Jamie Wilson with a delightful finish. And now then, does that get Melbourne Serbia back into this playoff semi-final?
They needed something out of nothing, and that was what it was. They caught them in the first half a couple of times, trying to play out. Wilson with a fabulous tackle and finished off his great work himself. Charles caught in no man's land. Kept his cool head. Wilson again looking speculatively ball forward. And is this the pep in the step that they need? Bringing it down to 3-2, and it's on. It is on. We've got the game we wanted. Goal for goal here. The pep in the step is there. As the tackle comes in, there's going to be a free kick. Got the opportunities. They'll shut the big men forward now.
Melbourne City perhaps prepping a substitution just before this free kick is taken. Cartwright stays done, and Akeem comes on. Melbourne Serbia have a free kick. Having got themselves within one. It's Lakic's free kick, again with Loft. Ito nodded it on. Flicked on again by Davis. Wasn't able to make its way for Wilson. Akeem's first touch is a good one. Flicked it on for Humbert, who was pulled back and bundled over. And that will be a yellow card for Trifonov. Just as Melbourne City wanted to go on the counter. Humbert, who was on a rather marauding run from centre half, had himself dragged down. Marinucci again evades Wilson and then squeezed it through for McIntosh. Combs trying to make it work. Ito on the slide, concedes a corner. And once again, having conceded, having to weather out another attack, Melbourne City have a chance from a set piece. Goes short, and in fact, it went in, then it went out. And that perhaps is a precious opportunity gone to waste.
Yeah, I just watched Diamante from the bench get up and have a couple of quiet words and frustration. It's simple ones like that. This academy's team's Achilles heel occasionally. A little blame fade like that one. Be a simple get the ball in the box. Wilson's lovely touch from Wilson, plays it inside, does get fouled but he's up and continues. Davis looks forward to nobody. Wilson still down, having a word with the fourth official. Terry getting an earful from him. Lovely flick round the corner from Baker. Recycle again. Wilson is up. He got his shoelace stood on. That's why he went over in a heap. Wasn't too happy with it. Now the crowd is getting involved. Davis, well done. Wilson involved again. Recycle again themselves.
Lakic with a spearing switch. Keane nodded it on, tried to get it back. Chincotta nipped in ahead of him. Humbert came across. Chincotta gives away a goal kick. This game, all of a sudden, is right back on a knife's edge. Melbourne Serbia have stolen the momentum back at the start of this second half. Still have it all to do. It certainly seems a much brighter mix-up than that of the first 45. Jenny Wilson just taking a second to tie his shoelaces. Happy to restart. Ito towered up. Trifonov as Wilson took a slip. Humbert clipped it over Hudson, who had a lot of him, too much of him. Humbert speared it out for Ballard, who did well. Boston turned away from one, was nearly collected by Wilson. Squeezed it back for Marinucci. Humbert. Timoth. Again, twisting and turning his way away from Trifonov well. Baker. Akeem. Shifted away from Chincotta. Keane on a darting run. Away from one, away from two, drew the third. McIntosh couldn't get it through to Bella. And now Melbourne Serbia might go the other way. Rossi on for Wilson, who has two up with him. Marinucci tried to slow him down, but he shifted it into Soveran. Back for Lakic. Ito. Cincotta couldn't step away from Keane, kept it alive. Keane well and truly clipping at his heels, and in the end concedes a throw in.
Looks like it's coming on. Manage coming off, number 8. Your like for like swap. We spoke about in the first half how influential Wilson can be, and now he's on the ball more often. He's making things happen. That's what they wanted, and that's what they've got. I'm sure that would have been a part of the team talk at half time to get Wilson on that ball. Veteran, played at high levels in Scotland. He's shown his ability. The ball ricocheted around, a couple of headers. See you come down with it.
Boston. He was pressed by Lingarovski, who's just been introduced. Stefan Ristic's day lasted an hour. Humbert in for Keane, whose touch was heavy, and Cincotta wants to go quickly. Flung it onto Wilson. Tried to spin away from Marinucci, but once again lost his footing. Keane's lost out. Threaded through. Lingarovski came, and that's brave goalkeeping. Lockie Charles courageously came off his line to claim it. Lingarovski was lurking and looking to level this game. Boston. Onto Demuth. Just about got away. Boston. McIntosh. On the spin, that's a smashing ball for Keane. He's got runners left and right. Baker was one, trying to fizz it low. Ito cleared it away. You can just start to feel the tension now this afternoon. What has been a loud and boisterous atmosphere now reflects one of angst on both sides. Both know the importance of the next half hour. Humbert cut out that ball for Wilson. With room to drive. Squeezed it on for Keane. Had them in the box. For Baker. Tried to stab it. Ito again cleared it. Lingarovski went over the top for Wilson. Boston watching him and did well. And just for good measure, Wilson had a word with Diamanti, who's certainly not been short of something to say this afternoon. Marcus Humbert gave it away to Lakic. Turned it into the channel, giving away a loose touch, allowed Humbert to come and win it. And Keane has spun away from one and has now got room to roam. Calms in the middle. Ballas at the back stick. Keane driving at Ito, going one way, then the other. Brilliant run. And Ito's slide had to be made at the concession and expense of a corner.
Well defended from Ito there, but the tracking back from Melbourne Serbia was non-existent there. They created that 3-on-3. Good opportunity again. And Baker goes out to ready to swing this one in. The short option comes. Baker into the penalty spot. Hill punches, gets enough on it to tee it away from everybody. And that's cleared this up line and a hit and hope. Sit on the ball and come back through. Cycle through their centre backs again. It's rinse and repeat from them. Keane. been sprightly since he's come on. He's shown some good pedigree straight away. Straight up to speed in the game.
Boston threaded it through to McIntosh wonderfully. He had Calms, and the flag has stayed down. Calms cut it back. McIntosh on the turn. That's a brilliant block from Ito. And the clearance from Chincotta, who might have taken a bit of a painful turn. Had to get his foot in the way. As McIntosh spun sweetly. He was looking to roll into the bottom corner. He's down. And in need of some treatment. Small opportunity for both teams to have a bit of a reset and perhaps a break as well. As we check on the welfare of Daniel Chincotta, he courageously flung himself at that, but might have done so at some personal cost.
Yeah, it looks like he just caught his ankle under himself, but it's a if you can't tell, it is a fabulous day today here. Spring weather, and both benches came out with the water, and rightly so. Warm standing up in the commentary box, but it's a warm day. It's a lovely spring day, and the crowd is even saying may not look like heavy numbers. A lot of them are camera side, so they're not looking into the sun. There's good numbers around for a not too far of a trip from the city for Melbourne Serbia, who are based at Kevin Butler Reserve in Richmond. Not too far of a trip. They often travel in good numbers. He's up and moving and bouncing and running, so that's a good sign. He's gave the bench the thumbs up, so it's a good sign they will come back on.
Thankfully, all seems to be okay with Chincotta. Melbourne Serbia momentarily down to 10. Wilson dropping in to provide some aid. Lakic launched it away. Took a touch from a leaping Matthew Baker. And Chincotta, who has served his time off the pitch, can now restart things with a throw-in. Gets it back from Lakic. Beckham Baker immediately on the press. Ito happy to hammer it away. Marinucci had an awkward one. Boston did well. Calms dropped in. Tried to flick it for Bala, who's done brilliantly. Wriggled away from Sovereign momentarily. Bala with depth wanted Calms. Akin was at the back stick on his own. Wasn't able. Just wasn't able to provide a clean connection on the cutback. Otherwise, Calms was lurking once more. Melbourne City still pushing for that fourth. Melbourne Serbia, having started the second half brightly, now perhaps having to withstand a bit of pressure. Wilson can spin away from Akin. Rossi, unable to turn it around the corner, does win a free kick. We've had a 1-1 this season. We've had a 2-2 this season between these two teams. We couldn't possibly, could we? Melbourne Serbia have a free kick in a position of promise. And perhaps an opportunity to test Melbourne City mettle. Lakic's take, wanted Davis. Cleared only as far as Lingarovski. Works it wide for Ito. Fisted across, Davis couldn't! Wilson could! He has turned it in for a leveller! Jamie Wilson at the double! has flung Melbourne Serbia right back into the picture.
That's exactly what you want from your main man. That's what you want from your goal scorer, your out-and-out striker. He's dragged Melbourne Serbia, kicking and screaming, back into this game. They looked down and out only moments ago. A double from him has put them back in the game. And I think that was a bit of commentator's curse there from Ethan saying we haven't had a 3-0 yet. Moments next it scores. It's a game on here. Of course we can't. We have to go to extra time and penalties. It's still there. They've breathed life back into the game. Melbourne Serbia buoyed by a crowd as well. Boisterous crowd has woken up with the 2 goals to bring them back level.
Now then. We have 20 minutes to find a winner. Otherwise, we need a further 30. Calms is looking to reinstate a City lead. Ran well into the channel. Found Bala. Couldn't get away from Soveron, who did well. Wilson, who has flipped this game on its head in the second half, rolls it on for Lakic. And that is a smashing ball in behind. Hudson's got men streaming. And he couldn't pick out Lingarovski at the back post. A good claim from Charles, who rolled it on for Beckham Baker. Akin. Happy to calm things down. Matthew Baker. Humbert. Marinucci. Boston. Marinucci. Humbert once again. How the script changes in the playoffs. How a high-pressure environment brings the best out of this game. Akin with loft, and too much loft for Olan Bala. So think about making a charge.
You mentioned early doors in the first half that Melbourne City have fielded an incredibly young team, and is this now on show with them? Is this the pressure getting to them? The first team experience for the 16, 17-year-olds too much now, with older, wiser bodies with Melbourne Serbia. They stream forward, looking for Wilson, who made a stunning run forward. Well cut out in the end. Boston turns into a brick wall, has to go back. Sweeper keeper has been caught out once here. He's brave doing it again, coming out so far. He won't be rushing to give the ball away. He won't be looking for that middle run pass after getting caught out with Wilson. They're happy to sit on the tempo of the ball. Gather their minds. Regroup. Control and dictate play. Melbourne Serbia, they've sprung and sprung well and punished their mistakes. It's Becker. Manages to get out of that tight spot. Opens up the pitch well. Whips it in. Looking back post. Goes. And it's anywhere else and it would have been in. Found him beautifully. Head was there. Looking for his hat-trick of all people. The centre-back thrown up forward. He's done 2 already. He had the chance.
It was a magnificent ball from McIntosh, and Calms was nearly centre-half, turned centre-forward extraordinaire. Just wasn't able to divert it away from Jared Hill. Chincotta and clipped over the top, gave Hudson one to chase. Humbert did well. Matthew Baker. Luka Dimmoth did delightfully. Boston ran himself into Lingarovski, who was hot on the press. Squeezed it back to Dimmoth, who dazzled away from Wilson. Humbert. Quarter of an hour to find a winner. Speared it for Balla, who kept it alive. Got away from Lingarovski. Gave it for Dimmoth, who then spun himself into trouble. Thumped away by Soveran. Lakic. Soveran. With a spearing ball. Looking for Lingarovski, who's got around Boston. Who in turn did well in retreat to make the challenge. Lucky Charles. Once more happy to take the sting out of the situation. Until Melbourne City get their makeup back in shape. Marinucci tried to clip one into the channel for Balla. Soveran read it well. Boston. Marinucci. For Lockie Charles, who took a stumble and speared it onto Akeen, who touched it away from Lakic. Only invited Hudson to hook it away. Humbert in retreat. It's nearly hospital. Gave Charles something to think about. He then tried to spear it on for Balla, but Soveran nodded it out for a throw-in. And another substitution for Melbourne City. Luka Dimmoth's afternoon, which has been one of drive and delight, comes to an end as he makes way for James Georgiou. Alessandro Diamanti hoping that he becomes a super sub. Marinucci for Charles. Humbert. Marinucci allowed to venture into Melbourne Serbia half. That's a smashing ball. Georgiou. Balla. Couldn't steer it towards Calms.
Diamante, before Georgiou come on, he told him exactly that pocket to play in. Playing that holding midfield role. There's acres of space in there. It's tired legs from both teams now. This is an expansive pitch, one of the bigger ones in the league. As time ticks away. 12 minutes or so to go. There's time ticking away. There's... Oh, that's a terrible kick from Hill. There's a ball I can go out to him. He's been quiet in the last couple of moments. He came on. It was sensational the first moments he was on. He's been quietened down significantly. All has been good. Cycle through their skipper. Playing nice and high now. Serbia happy to sit back in their defensive block. It's whipped in. Expected, of course, to nobody. Kim wasn't at the back post. He was streaming to try and get there. He just couldn't get there in time. Great ball across. Putting them under pressure, turning them around.
Chincotta on hand to clear. Melbourne City surging forward all of a sudden. Humbert again with loft. Calms got up. It broke for Balla, who didn't catch it cleanly. Might that be his moment? Chincotta's clearance only as far as Baker, who was bundled over. And City have a free kick. Final 10 minutes of a thrilling and of a tantalising playoff semi-final. And we still don't know which way it will go. Question everyone here is asking, who wants to go and win it? There's Beckham Baker's free kick, fizzed in low. Lakic got down to meet it. Georgiou, Akin. Got away from one, got away from two, fizzed it across the face, but he'd run out of play. Before delivering one, which Davis darted away. The most topsy-turvy of semi-finals. Something special that only the playoffs can throw up. There is no pressure like it. There is no stage like it. You couldn't possibly have prepared for this.
And the question then starts to beg, well, how many training sessions did Melbourne Serbia do once they found out that they were in? Scrambled their team back together. How many training sessions have they done? How many of them are switched off with their legs? There's a little push there, it goes unnoticed. Ricocheting around. Davis gets bundled over. A bit of push and shove. No, he's calmed about it. Just rolling around. He just fell on top of Kim. All happy and smiles. As I was saying, I've seen one or two Melbourne Serbian players already stretching their legs, pulling that cramp, and if we're going to go to extra time, it's going to start having to dig deep. The pickle juice is going to get a good workout today.
Thomas, get in. Thomas, get in.
It's done that latest lunge. Cameron Davis has got to be careful. Soveron's free kick. Wilson, he was grounded when it was taken, got back to his feet. He wasn't able to fetch it. And then goes into the book for impeding Lockie Charles. One might say rather unnecessarily as well. Humbert clips it, calms, tried to spin around. Davis did well to read that. For Hill. Launched it. Lingerovski just made Boston sweat. Tidily mopped up by McIntosh. Back for his keeper. Marinucci. Humbert, who once more has room to carry into. In for Calms, he turned it round the corner for Beckham Baker. Melbourne City will have a free kick, and Ito will be added to the list of yellow cards.
Just a little break up of play there, and just a little ill discipline from Melbourne Serbia creeping in there, especially with Wilson getting booked. He does like to throw himself around, so he's got to run on a tight rope now. He's very much so a edge of line player, is probably the politest way to put it. He plays with his heart. He's dipped him back post. Hakim was there. Had a chance to throw himself at it. And the makeshift striker already throwing himself at 2 goals. Was threw him body and soul at that one as well. Balls have been good into the box from City today. Productive. 4 shots on target, and 3 of them are goals. That's a ratio you'll be very happy with. It's Wilson. Leski has been good since he's come on. He couldn't rein that one in. He'll recycle back and happy to play back through their structure again.
Humbert gave it and got it from Matthew Baker. Now Marinucci, who started this whole afternoon off, tried to steer it for Boston, but it was just too heavy for him. 10th moments in KC. Seesaw semi-final, which is still yet to reach its conclusion, to see its final act. 5 minutes, plus however many more we need in stoppages, as Humbert cut out Hill's ball. Wanted to roll it on for Balic, and Cotter did well, and now Hudson's got room to go. Wanted to loft it for Lingarovski. Humbert had to wear it. And Wilson whacked it away and onto the roof. So Melbourne Serbia protest that perhaps it should have been their ball. Humbert does the sporting thing and returns it to them. It's quite a lovely thing to see, even in the fire of a contest like this. Boston with a good read. Terrific touch over the top from Georgiou. And Akin's got room to go into. And Davis in retreat, who dived in. Melbourne City will have a free kick. Cameron Davis just a fraction late as he continues to teeter on that tightrope. And they have to deal with yet another Beckham Baker ball into the box. Humbert across with him. In fact, it's Humbert to take with depth. Flick to H, and Cotter wanted to come across to clear it. Bala did well, as did Sovera, who nodded it to safety for Melbourne Serbia. Calms with a tidy touch. Georgiou. Marinucci on for Boston. Marinucci once more. Wanted to spear it for Calms or Bala, found neither. Only found the welcoming hands of Jared Hill. He wants to go long. Is there one last spin? Is there one last twist? Is there one last team who wants to throw the sink at it? Georgiou clipping for Calms. Davis did well. And found Sovera with a super ball. Clipped it in for Rossi. Lingarovski lost out. Georgiou on for Beckham Baker, who's got room, and he's got Bala up with him. Options darting. Calms was one. Ito on the slide. Lakic to loft it away. Only as far as Humbert, who in retreat lost it to Rossi. Lakic away from one, from two. Humbert kept it alive. Might never go on his own. And Hill had to spring across and make a fine save at the expense of a corner. And Lakic is still down.
It's the day of the defenders today. Habic saw his name in lights, just like his defensive counterpart, who's up forward and already banged in two. The opportunity was there, fell beautifully for him. Forced a great save though from Hill. Someone taking the game by the scruff of the neck is what it needs. The opportunity's there. Beckham Baker to swing it in deep.
Go, game, let's go, organize.
He sensed at the time it's going to be added on in half a minute. Might just get extended. Now 5 is the whisper. Alessandro Diamanti bargaining for another 60 seconds. Either way, we are about to find out as Lakic still down receiving treatment. First time in this second half, you feel. You just get to breathe in KC. There is a real hush around this place now. When Lakic finds his way off, in fact, his afternoon is done. Signalled that his time, for this afternoon at least, has come to an end. Melbourne Serbia restart with 10. Baker's corner, 5 added minutes. Calm's got the flick on. He couldn't try and steal a hat-trick. Wilson, who would willed Melbourne Serbia back into this game at one end, then gets a defensive duty at the other, and he's now down 2.
Is this a sign of Melbourne Serbia either delaying the game, or are they happy to say, well, we haven't trained that much, give us a second? Wilson doesn't want any treatment. I think he copped a stray shoulder or elbow to the face. He's happy to continue. He's tossed in to nobody in the end. On the far side, looking for the cross. Get another corner. Deep, late in the game. Opportunity again. Nathan Baker's service has been good from these corners. Can he do it again? Rinse and repeat again.
And in fact, Lakic has re-entered. Serbia back to the full 11. Baker's take with depth. Calms was once more the wanted party, and they'll do it all over again. Took a final Melbourne Serbia touch. And Melbourne City really trying to ram home their momentum and find a winner in stoppage time. Beckham Baker's take. Feasting again, flicked on. Georgiou was in there. Calms, who's on a hat-trick. Humbert via a deflection, has found a way. Humbert in the dying moments, in stoppage time, might well have sent Melbourne City to the final.
We said it was coming from a corner. The amount of corners they've had today, the service that's been provided from those corners, and the inability for Melbourne Serbia to defend those corners has paid dividends. It happened in the first 2 minutes of the game, and it's happened in the last 2 minutes of the game. The bench held their breath. Diamante was on the pitch celebrating. And I can tell they're going to chuck on a few subs to eat away. That has certainly knocked the wind out of Melbourne Serbia. Now hit and hope. Knock it long and hope for the best.
They weren't able to make those substitutions initially. One is being prepped, however. Final few minutes. Melbourne Serbia now have to throw the kitchen sink at it. McIntosh nodded it on for Beckham Baker, who let it run for Akeen. Beckham Baker continued his run. Ito did well. Akeen on the press, dived in and won the ball. Beckham Baker's now got room to go. He's got Balla up with him. Baker was bundled over. And then Lakic lunged into him too for good measure. As Balla hits the corner flag. Surrounded by 2, lost out. And now, finally now, they will get the opportunity to make that substitution. Faraz Golzari gets the final few minutes. And Roland Balla, who has had a brilliant afternoon, sees his come to the end just short of full time. Golzari staying out. Ito looking long. Wilson flicked it on, and him and Humbert seem to have had a little coming together. Both seem to be all right. Just perhaps a small knock. Ito driving long. Calms, who was up front, has dropped in at centre half. We are now at the referee's discretion. Each opportunity could be the game's last. Chincotta's throw in. Rossi wanted Wilson. Humbert hooked it away. Beckham Baker touched it on. McIntosh will have it anywhere. He was hoping that clearance might be that. Hill to send it back. Baker's flick on. McIntosh again battling. Bundled in. Lakic didn't take a liking to it. And this, you feel, is the final roll of the dice. For Melbourne Serbia, it's now or never. And Jared Hill is going on an adventure. Lakic to take, all on this. Fisted in, Davis got up. And his header was over the bar, and that will do. Melbourne City win a marvellous game. They hung on in the end, having been tested, having been pushed back against the wall, and in stoppage time, Marcus Humbert's hit has sent them to within one game of the top flight. It will be them who meet Brunswick City in the final. And for Melbourne Serbia, it is heartbreak. In the cruelest, the most dramatic fashion. A side who weren't expecting to be there, who were 3-1 down at half-time, were willed back into it by Jamie Wilson's double, the first of which was wondrous. But in the end, Melbourne City make their way to the playoff final and make their way to a game from the promised land at the end of a thrilling, at the end of a brilliant, a dramatic and a simply wonderful game of football. It's Melbourne City 4, Melbourne Serbia 3. Stay safe.